What is going on, everybody? We got a lot of news to talk about today, so sit back and relax. We're going to be talking Carson Wentz. We're going to be talking Russell Wilson. We're going to be talking Aaron Rodgers. We're going to be talking Amari Cooper, Deshaun Watson, Jimmy G, and a whole bunch of other cast of characters. We'll see you guys on the other side.
And guess who's back?
Yeah.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame is no surprise. I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow out of East Side.
Whoa, shoot it, no.
Oh, yeah. What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at ya.
Yeah, Fancy Tyrant back in the house. Hey, I took a couple weeks off, but I'm back and I'm ready. Let's do this.
Yeah, am I on?
You are. We are
Whoa.
live.
Hey, this is why we go live.
Yeah.
You guys already know to give me money.
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about, and we're just going to jump in it. We got to talk about Carson Wentz going to those Commandos.
Hold on. He
Carson's
will be
cavalcade of
dressed
crap
as
going to
Commander
Washington,
Carson
D.C.
From now on.
Nobody heard either one of you guys both talking at the same time. Let's hear it again.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I'm still in the Matrix. I thought I was backstage.
So Carson Wentz going over to the Washington Commanders. The only thing that I've seen so far is there's 2 third-round picks in the mix. So not giving up too much to acquire. Not much in our eyes.
There's a ham sandwich involved.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? 2 third-round picks, a ham sandwich. You know what I mean? A bag of plain Lay's potato chips.
Now,
what's the big claim to fame meal in Washington? What do they make?
I have no fucking idea. What the hell do they eat in Washington, D.C.?
What do they?
I know they sell a lot of crack in Washington.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Marion Barry.
Carson Wentz, the crackhead commando.
Carson Wentz going to be eating a crack sandwich real soon. So, let's talk about the implications. Guys like Terry McLaurin, guys like Curtis Samuel, guys like Gibson. I mean, the instant upgrade. We're talking about going from Taylor Heineke.
J.D. McKissick. You know what I mean?
He's unrestricted free agent. Let's see if they re-sign him.
Oh, word. I didn't know that. Okay.
That's pretty sad, though, that Carson Wentz moving there moves everybody up because, Carson Wentz ain't all that great. But it is an upgrade from what they had, so,
David P. in the building. What up, bro?
Hey, listen, man. Carson Wentz sucks. Let's be clear about this. But, that just the reason we're excited is because how bad Heineke is. That guy's trash.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Did not go down the field
Exactly.
worth a shit. What up, Antonio? He said Carson Wentz for a 6-pack of cigarettes and a bag of weed was the trade.
That's a good trade.
It was those Asian cigarettes, too, the 555.
See, then I'm still on that. Give me the weed and the cigarette side.
Stu's in the building. What up, Stu? You better hang around for your cowboy talk because you're going to love what I got cooked up. Devin in the building. What up, bros? Get ready to smoke it up. So how about we talk about the Colts side of things? I mean, we know for the Commandos, anybody was an upgrade over Heineke. Carson Wentz, even though he's a tiny upgrade, still an upgrade. What do you guys think they're going to do at the QB spot right now? Just if you had to guess, I think they're going to go for one of the free agents. I don't think they have too much capital to work with.
Okay, well, there's a lot of Jimmy noise. I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Because he just got that surgery. That really hurts our trade value on him. And that kind of expunges the fact that he's a quarterback that took his team, quote unquote, took his team to the title game. You know what I mean? Like the fact that he's coming off of surgery. And listen, if I'm on the other end, I'm like, bruh, he's coming off of surgery. You know, you have to drop the price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To the point that no one might not even trade for him at this point, at this juncture, because it's 16 weeks before he could even clear a physical. You know what I mean? So,
well, the way to tease Jimmy G, because we're going to be talking about him in a little bit, and a handful of these teams that are involved. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about.
But I'm saying then Jameis Winston becomes interesting because I thought we were talking about who we think the Colts will go for.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Becomes interesting, but like another guy too, where it's like, hey, you're coming off an ACL, and then so now here, are you ready for this? Give me Gardner Minshew.
Damn. Okay.
I like the Ginsu.
Well, they're gonna have to trade for him.
Yeah, but he's not gonna cost much, but like a pastrami sandwich.
I got two guys, who isn't gonna cost much. It might even cost a little bit less than a pastrami sandwich. Mitch Trubisky and Marcus Mariota. I think it is one of those two guys, or Winston, one of the top, because those guys are the top three, like QB free agents. Is very thin at the free.
Yeah, I mean, and Mitch is getting a lot of buzz right now because like obviously he can go and compete in New York right now if he wanted, because Dable will take him over there. But I think his agent's like, no, we might be able to get you a real gig. Then like Pittsburgh becomes part of the conversation. And I just feel like the Colts are going to be at the back end of that merry-go-round. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so they might end up with a Mariota. If that. That's why I went straight to my man, the Ginsu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they're going to go with somebody like Gardner Minshew or Mariota, but then eventually, they're going to draft a quarterback, I think. I don't think it's going to be one of the early guys. It's not going to be Pickett or anyone like that. But, they could go a little bit later, pick up
like a Corral,
one of the late round quarterbacks
maybe like
available,
a
like a EJ Perry. That might be, from Brown University. That might be someone they could get late, fourth round or later. So that's kind of how I think they're going to go with it.
Yeah. See, here's the thing with
John,
those
what
quarterbacks,
up, John? He said, I have no sympathy for the Conrads. And he said, Wentz is a better option than Heineke, but dear Lord, they took over his contract, $28 million. I mean, $28 million in 2022 is not a lot for a starting QB.
That's not a lot at all. And it's quite team friendly, actually. Like, and they only gave up 2/3 and a generic bologna sandwich. You know what I mean?
Yep. Hess in the building. What up, bro?
What up, Hess?
Yeah. All
hey,
right.
who's on the clock right now? Is it you? Oh, it's you or Hess?
Oh, I'm not.
No, my bad. I think it's still you, right?
Oh, it might be.
It's all good. Let them wait. They can all wait.
And David P. said your backup is better than your startle, Ronald. Ginshu over Jalen Mills, maybe. Everybody loves Ginshu. Yeah, Anthony in the building. What up, bro?
What up? Go Niners.
All right. So if you guys didn't check it out, we did talk about Russell Wilson yesterday. We did a breaking news, fantasy news today, yesterday. We got to talk a little bit about Russell Wilson because people may not have been watching yesterday.
Yeah.
We're also going to be talking about Russell Wilson on the Circle tomorrow. So make sure you guys chime in. 7:20 Eastern, 4:20 Pacific. Oh, yeah. We got the whole crew in the building tomorrow. Russell Wilson.
I'm coming for that fourth time. I'm going to be the fourth time champ.
They did it. I'm glad that the Broncos did something because this offense is way too good for Teddy B or Drew Lock to be driving it into the ground. We want to be able to have guys like Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton eating all year. So I'm not even talking about the price of the trade. I just think it's great to finally have a great QB back in Denver.
I mean, this is their MO, right? Denver's MO is they go from trying to like be homegrown with Tim Tebow and them, and then they're like, we're going to make a splash, bring in Peyton Manning. Then, since then, they tried to do the same thing by bringing in veteran QBs, right?
Here you go. Hold on real quick.
Case Keenum, right?
Hold on. I want to ask you before you start listing them off. What year did Peyton Manning retire?
After the 25th. So 2016 was life without Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm.
How many QBs, and I want everybody in the chat, before you guys say numbers, put it in the chat. How many QBs do you think have started for Denver since Peyton Manning left? So how many years? You said after the 2016 season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we're coming 6 seasons. We're about to be coming on 5 seasons.
Are we waiting to say?
Oh no, go ahead. You guys can chime in.
I got it. I got a number.
Is it
5? I'm going with 5.
I'm going with 8.
So Antonio said 12. Antonio said 12.
Hold on. Started though.
Yeah, how many
That's
starting
just getting in the
QBs? How many starting QBs have they had since then? Like starting a game.
Okay, hold on. Let's go. They had Case Keenum. They had Brandon Allen. They had Drew Lock. They had Teddy Roosevelt. They had Joe Flacco, Wacko Flacco himself. And that's right. That's as far as Brett Rippins.
Yeah, see, they have so many trash quarterbacks that you're not even going to remember. John hit the nail on the head, and I researched this stat before. 11. They've had 11 starting QBs.
I named 6.
Manning left.
Brett the Hitman Ripkins. Remember him? Cal Ripken's nephew. You know what I'm saying? And then you had see, that's only 6 I can name, bro. Oh, and then you had the former receiver
Deshaun Hamilton.
Here you go. So here you go. John's on it. Here we go. Simeon, Lynch, Osweiler.
Simeon and Lynch.
Yep, there you go. You forgot about those bums.
Rock. Yeah.
Keenum, Flacco, Allen,
And Brock.
Crystal, Ripien, and then Hinton, and then Bridgewater. Oh yeah.
Damn, I just forgot I forgot about the Gary Kubiak era with Simeon.
Oh, Hinton, that's who it was. Yeah.
That one random COVID game where like all 3 QBs, went. So
Kendall Hinton, that's right.
if you take out the one crap game, from there, the COVID one, they've had 10 starting QBs. It's insane. That's a lot for a short amount of time, and they've all sucked.
Yeah.
And now they got dangerous.
Oh yeah.
I mean, who's the best player on that list right there? Who do you think? Best quarterback on that list?
Maybe Bridgewater when he's not hurt.
Give me
Bridgewater or
Case Keenum.
Flacco?
Yeah,
I'll go with Case Keenum.
if it was Flacco in his prime, but yeah, the Flacco that
Because he was elite,
Oh yeah, he was elite. Peacock in the building. What up, bro? Said wife been out of town for 2 days, not back till tomorrow. Gonna have the runts running all over my streams tonight and tomorrow. There you go, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
We love the kids. Look at mine. I can't get rid of mine.
And Peacock said nobody been good for the Broncos since Manning. That's for sure.
For real though, say that again.
And John says that's all mesmerized. The scars on my body with those QBs.
Dang. Hey, man, congratulations to Bronco country though, man, because you guys got a guy, man. Now that Russ is out of my division, I can actually express my love for Russ. I love Russ. He's a corny ass dude, but awesome player.
All right, here we go. John's going to quiz us right now. He said it's Simeon, sadly, since he had the most wins in that span. And he said, guess how many wins he had? I'm
Who?
going to say 4.
Who? Drew Lock?
Simeon.
What? Simeon, how many wins did
none.
he have?
Give me none for the win.
Is he saying he had the most wins?
No, well, yeah, he said he had the most wins out of anybody on that list.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I think he had.
7.
I think that was the 2017 year. I want to say, because that's when Simeon came out the gate firing. I want to say he has 6 wins that year.
Okay. I figure I'm shooting too low with 4, but I'm still sticking with it.
Maybe it was 8 because
But he didn't even play the whole year, did he?
Well, because Brock Osweiler didn't Brock Osweiler win 6 games when Peyton Manning had the plan?
Okay, shit. So he said 13, so that was over the span of 2 years.
Oh, 2 years.
Because he was there for he was starting for off and on for a couple of years.
I thought we were talking about one season. Yeah, well, the Brock Lobster, he only started for Denver when Manning was there, and he was hurt.
I thought they brought him back. Didn't he start like 1 or 2 games when they brought him back?
No. They traded him.
They shipped him off to the Texans.
Oh,
I
you're
know,
right.
but then they re-signed him back after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, that was after the Browns traded for him, then cut him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I mean, it wasn't really a smart move because Osweiler sucked either way,
Right.
but at least on paper, it looked like the craziest value because they would have had to re-sign him for like 80 mil, and they're like, nah, just go test free agency. And then the Texans cut him within the same year that they gave him that big bag.
No, well, not within the same year.
We all saw
Okay, I
that.
guess it was because they played a season, got to the playoffs, beat the Raiders, and then they lost to the Patriots, if I remember correctly.
And then he was done.
And then he was done. And like, if y'all remember the year before that, when the year that the Broncos won the Super Bowl, it was a Sunday nighter when they had to go into New England and beat the Patriots, and Brock Osweiler led the charge. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then when they seen him in the playoffs the next year with the Texans, they're like, we're about to destroy this motherfucker.
Yep.
Hey, you know what Brock Lobster is good for, bro?
Nothing.
He's good for like removing wallpaper because that motherfucker's like 6'7". Like
he could touch the ceiling.
yeah, and
He could probably screw in the shit out of a light bulb on your ceiling fan.
right. And I don't understand.
Doesn't even need a stepladder.
I don't know what John Elway was going through at that time, but like he was like scout, like his prerequisite for a QB he drafted was basically like you got to be 6'5" and up.
Oh
right
yeah,
here. And they were all like,
because you know why?
6'7", you know what I mean?
Because you know why. Can't teach that.
Elway was only 6'3" himself.
Okay.
So I don't know what the hell he's bugging out about. But
Okay.
He probably looks up to those 6'5", 6'6" quarterbacks, you know, the stereotypical guys. All right. Holy shit. All right. Zach says you only have an hour and 15 minutes to take your pick. Son of a bitch. You guys have let me be on the clock this long without talking shit to me or something?
I don't know. I don't really. Only the Flash wants to constantly remind people who's on the clock. So I don't know if anyone's noticed, but in that chat, he's the only one when he's on the clock. I go, hey, OTC, bro.
Oh, man. What a bastard. Bernie Mac picked Curtis Samuel. That's what I was going to pick with my next pick. That bastard.
I mean, you know, that it's funny because that's what happens when we're doing slow draft during shit popping. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, it probably. Well, I don't know. I've been on the clock for a lot of hours, so who knows if the news came in before that. But all right, let's toss up. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers for a quick second. For everyone who didn't see our Aaron Rodgers live stream yesterday, just go back and watch it. It's on the YouTube channel. We knew he was going to catch a bag. I don't know why everyone thought that Green Bay wasn't going to pay him. If you look and see what they traded away to get Russell Wilson, you know that the Packers were asking for more than that because we're talking about a back-to-back MVP winner.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shit. And the Players Association, they would be fucking pissed if he tried to do some type of team-friendly shit, like to run everyone back because they want motherfuckers to constantly reset the market for the future players. You know what I mean? Like, they want – this is one of the lowest playing sports compared to, like, the big dogs, right? The big three, baseball, basketball, football. Football players get the least money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Play the least amount of games out of everybody by far.
Right.
Yeah, but like definitely the most physical and well, I mean, career threatening, longevity threatening, life threatening. I mean, at least in the major sports.
Yeah, I mean, shit. One bad tackle, one bad play. I mean, shit. You could be done that getting crippled for life.
Bro, that's what happened. That's what ended my career, bro.
Yeah, you took a hit on the
Like a bad hit, man.
You got smashed on the kickoff return.
You know what I'm saying? I would have been with a legendary punt returner.
So yeah, Aaron Rodgers. The pieces in place. We got to see what they do with these free agency signings. They tagged Devontae Adams. Everybody already knows that. Those guys got to be together. But now we got to see what they're going to do with their defense and what the hell are they going to do about getting some other pieces in there because that team, Aaron Rodgers has to do too much to get it to a Super Bowl.
Did they? Is there any news on Campbell?
Nothing yet.
Any news on?
There's no news on any of their defenders.
So none on Rashad. Oh yeah, okay. I was gonna say because I know Rashad Gary is priority too. Him and Campbell right now.
Yep. But how about let's talk about a dope contract extension that happened. The Tennessee Titans locking down Harold Landry, fat ass contract, 5 years, $87.5 million, $52.5 million guaranteed. Give him his bag.
That's right.
What happened to him last year? Was he just hurt most of the year or what?
Hell no. Like, he was killing it. He, he's one of the sack leaders, he was their sack leader, but one of the sack leaders in the NFL. Dude was killing it. One of the better outside rushers right now in the game.
Let's stop talking about him because we're in a slow draft right now.
What up, sir? Bongs a lot.
I knew he was gonna get a bag yesterday when that was the news. Like, oh, they didn't tag him or nothing. I was like, oh no, he's gonna get it.
Well, they made it seem like they were gonna let him test free agency.
Yeah, but Vrabel would probably like grab a GM by the throat. You know what I mean? Like, look, motherfucker, we ain't playing these fucking games. You understand me?
Hell yeah, Landry is the man. Yeah, and John said he had 12 sacks for the Titans. Hell yeah,
12 sacks, 75 combined tackles, 22 hits on the QB. Guy earned that money for sure.
Hell yeah. I need to get that drop from Rounders, the Russian guy. Pay that man his money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
And here we go, Antonio. You already know the next news that I was going to bring up. The Seahawks release Bobby Wagner. We're talking, he's a Pro Bowler every single year.
He's going to Las Vegas.
Bobby Wags.
So here's some shit that I've been hearing, and I really don't like it. We're going to get into some of this Cowboy news. And apparently, Dan Quinn, he told Ed Werder, he's stroking off Bobby Wagner, says he's the best linebacker that he's ever played with, and he's going to be talking to the front office and make sure that they pursue him heavily in free agency.
Look at no matter what, they're gonna eat the Amari Cooper money. No matter what, they're gonna eat whatever money they owe Lawrence, and they don't give a fuck. They'll pay luxury tax. They're gonna try to get their guy because Uncle Jerry's gonna see what the Rams did and be like, see what them Rams did over there in Hollywood? We got to do that. We need more star power. You know what I mean? We got a star. How come we got a star on our helmet? We don't have star power. Answer me that, Steven.
John said Wagner to the Rams to screw over Seattle.
I said that last night. Hey, man, shout out to my man, Steezy. I did his show last night. Big Seattle Seahawks fan. That's the first one I went to. After the Raiders, I think he goes to the Rams because we just saw Von Miller do that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I really do feel like that the Cowboys are probably the best bet for him.
Hold on.
To reunite with Dan Quinn. Of course he's going to want to go there. That's a place. They could definitely use him on that defense in that position. I think that makes that defense very formidable if he does go there, and they're going to need that formidable defense. Look how gashed they got by the Niners. You know what I mean? In the playoffs. So yeah, they're going to need
formidable. Wait, hold on. That's too vague. That's too vague. Formidable as in run stopping, because then B Wags will come in there and help that because they couldn't stop the run. Like as good as the Dallas defense was, you could run all over them. Shout out to my Niners. You know what I mean?
As I'm saying.
So I think that because other than that. I think bringing in Bobby Wagner is kind of stupid. Like, I would rather keep Cooper, and find them. You know what I mean? They got hella linebackers over there. It's just
they also got hella wide receivers with a lot of talent. You got and people that they can lock down. Yeah, and a tight end with a lot of talent. They have a lot of pieces there on offense. They need some more defense to bolster that up to be able to stop.
Wait.
That's why the Niners were able to gash them because they needed to stop the run. Because that's going to help.
What do you mean they have hella weapons on offense? They might not have Cooper. Gallup is coming off injury. They still haven't re-signed him back.
But they said they're going to, and that's why they're getting rid of Cooper.
Yeah,
they said that they're Wilson.
Hey, man, I'm saying they don't have too many weapons, man.
Okay. You guys really want to know what's happening with Amari Cooper? You guys really want the scoop?
Yeah, let's go. Give me the scoop. Give me the
scoop on the coop.
Here we go, because we know we got a couple Cowboy guys in here. We're not going to shout out any names. You guys know who you are. He's been scouring everything to try to find whatever he can. Okay. This did not come from a blue check source. Okay. I don't know if this is a lie. I don't know
yeah,
if this
Stu. Shout out to Stu. He sent me this. Go ahead.
Hey, stop revealing our sources, all right? He's scouring, looking for us. So apparently there was a big riff with Amari the Pooper Scooper and Dak. And according to this tweet that got put out there, Cooper called Dak the Black Kirk Cousins, and Dak got very offended.
Hey, man.
Wait a minute.
You know why? Because I think a lot of people say Dak is an Uncle Tom. Maybe I'm the only one who says that, but I think that I like to believe that I think what the people, I say what the people think. You know what I mean? And he's a big Uncle Tom, bro. He is the Black Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins should be offended by that.
Like when I heard this, I instantly thought of Harold and Kumar. Okay. Instantly thought of Harold and Kumar when that guy was like, when he's about to be searched at the airport check-in. He's like, "Come on, dude, you're barely even brown compared to me. You look like Matthew Perry." He's like, "Who the fuck you call Matthew Perry, bitch?" Got super offended, and that's what I assume that happened when Cooper. Maybe he didn't say this, but I mean, I think our version.
Hey, no, he said it. I was there. He said that shit. I was right there.
Yep.
I heard it. I heard it loud and clear. He called him. He said he's the Uncle Tom. He's the Black Corky Kirk.
Yep. And we've been talking about this for weeks, where Uncle Jerry was talking mad shit about Cooper's production versus his contract. Says they're not happy with this production and they're not happy with this contract. I mean, the writing's been on the wall, so we know that there's a lot of things going on. And if I was Cooper, I'd be hella pissed right now.
Hey, Uncle Jerry would smooth put a hit out on Cooper. No, not a fucking. He wouldn't bat an eyelash. He put a hit out right out on him.
Now here's the timeline for Cooper. His $20 million becomes fully guaranteed by March 20th. So
21st.
Something is. I saw the 20th, but either way, within these next 10 or 11 days, we will for sure know if the Pooper Scooper is getting released or if they've actually been able to trade him somewhere. I think he's going to get released because nobody wants that damn contract.
Hey, you know what? I want to say something about Amari Cooper, bro. And this is like, if I'm a coach or if I'm a scout for a coach and they say, "Well, what did you see about Cooper?" I say, he's soft.
Yeah,
soft, bro.
Yeah,
he ain't worth the $20 million.
He gets punked at the line, man. It's like if he goes up against a roughneck cornerback that's jamming him at the line, he can get taken out of the game as easy as anybody in the NFL.
And you know why I need him? I need Cooper there to free up all our CeeDee Lamb shares as much as possible, because I don't want CeeDee Lamb to draw the number one coverage. That's for soft ass Cooper to get erased out of the game and then cry about it later. You know what I mean?
You know, they bring back Gallup. You know, they got Wilson there. They got
I think Wilson's a free agent too.
I know he is, but I think they could resign him. I mean,
he's going somewhere on the cheap. It's probably going to be back to.
That's what I'm saying. Is he would go somewhere on the cheap? So why wouldn't the Cowboys just pick him back up and be able to utilize him, or the Cowboys go after another free agency in wide receiver and free agency?
The Cowboys,
they're going to get help for Dak
until Jerry Jones is under the dirt. This is what they should expect. Poorly managed teams pay all these big guys, and it never works. Like, how many every year they got to change their philosophy? Look at last year. They're like, we gotta redo everything. They draft all defense, and then this year they're getting rid of hella pieces on that defense. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like they don't manage that organization well, in my opinion.
No.
And if a guy like Lawrence, could he take a team friendly deal? I'm sure he could, but people are tired of taking these team friendly deals for the Cowboys when you're not getting crazy endorsements and you're not winning Super Bowls. Like, that's really what this comes down to. Like, everyone talks about why players need to take pay cuts. Tom Brady did it, but Drew Brees did it. Those are some teams that were going for Super Bowls and always competing for a championship. Stop doing that for teams that aren't making Super Bowl moves every year.
Yeah, I agree with Bogey. It's just a horribly mismanaged team, and has been pretty much since Jimmy Johnson left.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So enough with these Cowboys. I digress. How about we talk a little bit about Deshaun Watson? So we got some dates that we got to be paying attention to. And one of them is this Friday. This Friday, they're going to be stating the case to the grand jury. And we already know Watson, he's pleading the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth.
Yeah.
I plead the fifth.
And then on the 1st of April, that's where we're hearing the next stuff. But if nothing happens on Friday with the criminal, cases, I mean, the civil case is what he's going to pay some fines, but if it's not a criminal case, he still can't be suspended. But I don't think he gets suspended for like a year if he doesn't catch any criminal charges.
I think it's a whole year.
Even if there's no criminal charges, like what if?
Didn't the NFLPA make
hold on. They suspended Zeke. They suspended Zeke for non-charges.
Right, but you got to remember the NFLPA changed things since then.
Yeah.
That's why Watson hasn't been suspended as of right now. It's the real guilty, innocent until proven guilty. Guys are actually finally getting that. If he wasn't accused,
I mean, wouldn't you? Okay, well, how about this? Maybe it's 4 to 8 games. If not, bro, there's no suspension at all. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not like he was gambling on.
In violation.
Hold on. It's not like he was gambling on football games or anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, because then if this is not in violation of player conduct policies, right?
Do you think that in their player conduct policy, there's like
it
a
says
rule
don't fuck hookers?
Yeah, or don't ask people to give you hand jobs or like anything like that. You think there's literally codes written in there for that?
I mean, listen, if I'm a billionaire or when I'm a billionaire and I have contracts, I'm going to have shit in the contract like that. Listen, I better not catch you getting your dick sucked by one of these employees. Hey, listen, I better not. And that's how it's going to be phrased, too. I'm going to be that motherfucker that catches that motherfucker.
It's probably written like all Orwellian,
for the hand jobbing party of said party hand job nation.
If the hand of the proletariat touches it and it is a double plus good touch, then
there are 4 extremities on the human body.
And Troy, he says, y'all are out of pocket today. There's some crazy stories that we got to cover today.
Hold on, man. I am the voice for the people. I speak what they are thinking.
And Troy asked, is Kamara going to miss games? So I don't.
Listen, hold on. Let me answer this. I don't know the future.
I think that he's going to catch at least a 2-game suspension.
I think this is another case. Nothing's going to happen. It's either he gets charged with something or it's nothing, because this is Las Vegas happening.
He's going to get charged with assault.
Eye in the sky footage out there.
Do you see that motherfucker's face? Like that hit, like he's going to get charged with assault.
But see, here's the thing,
there's going to be a suspension.
He's not going to go to jail.
But there's several guys' word against one. So that's in Kamara's favor. It's all these guys saying, nah, we didn't see, he didn't do nothing. That guy fell on his face. You know what I mean? And there's no, you're in Vegas.
Well, he can afford a pretty good lawyer, I'm sure.
Where is the eye in the sky? You're supposed to have the eagle eye on this motherfucker and have footage of his shit. There's no footage. So I think the more and more we get further away from that shit, you know what I mean? Like that, he's in the clear. And I'm mad because I took Saquon over Kamara in the 6th round of the startup dynasty. Because I was still a little spooked. I wasn't thinking the same mindset I am now about Kamara. We didn't hear nothing about that.
And then speaking of the Saints, the next guy that we're talking about, Jimmy G, which Bogard tossed up a little bit earlier.
Hey, rephrase that. Pause. Bogard ain't tossing up nobody.
We got 3 teams that are apparently heavily interested in Jimmy G right now. And the Saints, they might be the front runner. Maybe it's just some bullshit, being leaked from his agent. We're just going off of what we're seeing. And then the Steelers and the Colts are apparently also in the Jimmy G sweepstakes.
Yeah, I think that the Saints would be. Here's what I see, and going back to what we were saying earlier, I think that the Saints pick him up, and then they end up shipping out Winston, and the Colts.
You
pick
can't
him
ship
up.
out Winston. He's a free agent.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I mean, I'm not saying by trade. I mean, goodbye. Dismiss him, and then he goes to the Colts. So that's how I think that that's going to go down. They just it's I think it's going to be.
I think Winston has as much chance to go to Indy as my crazy Gardner Minshew take, because like the reality is it's probably going to be someone like a Mariota. You know what I mean? Like, because he's like the next in line because of health wise. Like Jameis Winston is going to really need someone who believes in him to pick him up, because he's coming off the ACL. So either someone that believes in him, like a Mike Tomlin, or maybe even a Frank Reich, like say Indy, they really believe in him. They have been grabbed him already. They would have been grabbed him already. The fact that he's coming off the ACL, that guy might sit around for a little while longer, along with Jimmy. You know what I mean?
The one thing that I do see with Jameis Winston, Spencer, the guru, is the one who brought it up. He noticed that he was running and he had the Saints shirt on, and he's still rocking the Saints gear, So.
Hey, I saw that footage. If
I
you
did
look
too.
closely at that footage, he has a handful of crabs, bro. He's running.
Which kind?
He's running from the goddamn docks.
And Ron said, dude, Bogard, what's up with the Minshew man crush, bro?
Hey, hold on. Minshew has one hell of a mustache.
Exactly.
Hey,
What's not to love?
Ronald don't like nobody on his roster. Like, I ain't never heard him say one time he like any. He hates Hurts. He's like, what's wrong? Why do you love Minshew so much? Minshew is just fun. That's why. And Minshew has flashed a ton. Minshew, to me, could have done everything that Mitchell Trubisky has done. And you know what's funny is Mitchell Trubisky, he don't got no playoff wins, but he got two playoff appearances. You know what I mean? That says something. So, and to me, that would put him in the pecking order. That would put him as the next guy in line to end up with Seattle or to end up with Indy or possibly Pittsburgh. Like, Mitchell Trubisky is weirdly in this conversation right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And you know who Gardner Minshew really, really reminds me of is a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick. He may not be as smart as him, but he's someone who just seems like he's going to be a career journeyman that plays until he's 40 somehow.
Yeah, and I think Trubisky definitely has more of a chance than Minshew making it to as a starting quarterback on a team this season.
Hey, listen, bro.
I think it's going to be Trubisky to the Colts. I think he's going to the Colts.
That could happen.
I did the research, bro.
Oh, Tino said it too. He's on it. Let's hear your research.
The research showed me that Ryan Fitzpatrick is, in fact, Gardner Minshew's estranged father.
I believe it. They look very, very similar. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, he seems like the guy who's smart enough to know when he should cut his losses. And Gardner. It was that name. It was just Gardner. So that that's strange. That's his.
He was conceived in the middle of a garden.
Then that family has mad facial hair game.
His whole family was named after garden tools. His sister was a hoe.
Oh, snap.
I'm having fun today.
Live in Sports Talk with Jake. What up, bro? He said, really hoping for some good news on Watson this Friday. Hell yeah. We talked about that a little bit earlier. We need a franchise QB. And then Wilson, where do you go? So, I mean, I forgot who mentioned it earlier. Someone said Watson to the Seahawks, question mark. That's a lot of the news that we've heard, like that they're going to try to turn these picks into a guy potentially like Watson.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
He really got to have some love for these skill position guys. Like, he's really got to be a fan of DK and a fan of Tyler Lockett, because otherwise I'm looking around that Seattle organization. If I'm Watson and I go like this, read what that says on there. Read it out loud. No trade clause. Exactly. I ain't fucking going there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just don't see him wanting to go to one of the toughest divisions with one of the poorest roster as far as personnel goes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, they definitely need to draft an O-line to protect him, for one thing.
Yeah.
They need to bolster that defense, because The
Dwayne
division's
Brown
too tough.
used to play with Watson. Dwayne Brown was there when Watson was a rookie. They traded him to the Seahawks. I bet you he could call him up and be like, hey, what's it like over there? And, bruh, turn the other way and run.
Yeah, right. Get the fuck out while you still can.
Yeah,
And
you know
Tino,
what I mean?
what up, Tino? He said you guys doing a big draft day show. Hell yeah, man. I mean, I don't know how much we're going to do for after the first round, but we're for sure going to be streaming during the first
Listen,
round.
anytime I can start day drinking in the middle of the day, bro, we're on, bro.
Yeah. We might start an hour or two, before the draft and just make it a big thing,
Fuck yeah.
We might even figure if we can get some pools going.
Yeah.
We might be able to do something, man. We got to figure out how to squeeze some bread out this bitch.
Yeah. And Hess said, where do you think Mariota's landing? I think it's Trubisky or Mariota that ends up in Indy, but I think that Tampa Bay, I think that they might be running for someone like him. Someone said Watson, it was actually Hess who said Watson to Tampa Bay because they have better massage parlors there.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
But
I think Mariota to Tampa Bay makes a lot of sense, actually.
So we shall see. But it's the teams without without the capital that they can't go. For one of these big, with one of these big trade targets. Going to end up with a guy like Trubisky, Mariota, or Jameis Winston, because all those guys I think are going to be starting in the NFL in 2022. At least
to start off with, they might go to a team that picks up a quarterback in the draft.
Yep.
I think that could be the case with Mariota, with Trubisky.
They're bridge quarterbacks is all they are. They're all going to get
Winston as well. Yeah.
They're all going to get like 2-year deals, and that's it, where they could be cut after 1 year if the team really doesn't want to deal with them. All right. And before we get moving on, I got to show you guys something dope. New merch alert. Oh, yeah. We got a new 420 Crew shirt, and check out that price. Only $24.50. We kept it real cheap for you guys. So go check it out. Go to 420crew.org and go cop one today. Oh, yeah. We got all the different colors in there. You can get any size you want, all the way from small all the way up to XXX. Anything you guys need, there's going to be more merch coming along the way as well.
Hey, tell them how hard I worked to sew those joints.
Oh, yeah. Bogard hand-stitched these.
Mm-hmm.
Every single stitch was Bogard in a sweatshop. And somehow we kept it under a $25 bill for you.
Did you put your kids to work there, Bogey?
I mean, nah, hell no, man. You know what I'm saying? Social services and all that stuff would be on it quick. You know what I mean?
Good. That's good.
All right.
Hey, we must have hit every genre of dark joke category today.
I think so. We're going to have a lot of clips from this show, and it's going to be pretty funny. I will tell you that. All right, we got a couple more pieces of news that we'll talk about. Nothing as big as anything we talked about before. Let me just read off the list of the guys that got franchise tagged. We'll talk a little bit about this because it's a very small list for the entire league. We got Devontae Adams. We got Jesse Bates for the Bengal, their stud safety. We got the left tackle for the Chiefs, Orlando Brown. Mike Gesicki in Miami. Okay, but I don't have it in here.
Get Gesicki with it.
We also got Chris Godwin for the Bucks.
Hey, you know why Chris Godwin? Ask me why Chris Godwin, even coming off the ACL, is still good enough to get a second franchise tag.
Bogard, I got to ask you, why is Chris Godwin good enough to receive back-to-back franchise tags?
Well, I mean, I'm actually glad you asked because it's quite obvious. He has God and win in his name.
We'll all be damned.
And that's really all that matters. He has God in his name. He could have
done nothing.
He's the man.
God is winning his name.
Bogey, you're a genius.
Now, we also got, for the Browns, we got David Njoku, which I'm surprised about that. I mean,
he could block.
Yeah, because they really don't like him to catch. I mean, just a couple times here and there.
They run. I don't know. Is it 13 personnel? Like what's when you have 3 tight ends?
I have no idea what the fuck's that called. But
I mean, because I've heard some people call single wide out set, like, you know what I mean? Because they would have just Jarvis Landry out wide or Donovan Peoples-Jones out wide, and then you have the 2 tight ends on the line and you have 1 lined up. It's a fucking 3 tight end package. Like,
yeah,
ridiculous.
and not only can he block, but also they can use him as like a gadget guy. He can do this and that or whatever in the offense when he's healthy. And that's been the
run first. It's a run first team. It's the other regime that drafted him in the first. Was he like a first rounder?
He was a first rounder.
Yeah. So the fact that they're still tagging him is because I feel like no one. Remember, he was always the guy. I want to get traded. Ain't nobody wants you, bro. But they want him. They just don't want him enough to pay him. Matter of fact, they even brought in what's the bruh's name, bro? Austin Hooper, bro, and gave him a bag.
Yeah.
Not Njoku, but Hooper, they brought him in because he's more of a move tight end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He ain't going to be out there getting gritty in the trenches.
Right.
So they brought him over to be an extension of a wide receiver, and they don't like him either. Like, that's what sucks about the Browns and their whole tight end regime that they got right now. None of them are working.
Fantasy.
If you do take one tight end from the Browns, and I don't suggest it, I would definitely go with Njoku just because I think he is going to play that gadget kind of role.
So we got 2 more players that got franchise tagged here. We got Cam Robinson for the Jaguars, their offensive tackle, and then we got Dalton Schultz for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
and
I like that they did that. They had to do that.
Yeah, because he's going to get swooped.
Hey, me and Stu we were going back and forth about this because he had this whole spiel of like how it was stupid to franchise tag Schultz. They should have let him walk and brought in like a OJ Howard. And I go, wait a second. So you mean a guy who has rapport and chemistry with Dak, you want to let him walk and bring in OJ Howard, a predominantly blocking tight end? You know what I mean?
There's really been nothing but a disappointment.
I was just like, I'm in total disagreement here. I'm not even gonna humor that. Like, you guys needed to keep Schultz around somehow, so he got the tag. That's respect.
Especially you're playing with house money with Schultz because you didn't even think it was going to be the guy. It was supposed to be Blake Jarwin.
Yeah, exactly. But for 2 years, he's been showing that he has that connection with Dak, and you can't buy that.
He's been
when you look at Dalton Schultz,
he's been the best tight end they've had since Witten, and I know there's not that many years, but they were about to be going down a rabbit hole of bad tight ends if he didn't emerge.
Yeah.
When you look at how Dalton Schultz played, every time you watch him play, somewhere in the world Kobe Fleener is smiling. Because the Stanford tight end is always supposed to be a thing in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're always like, this tight end from Stanford. He's like, I remember a couple years ago, Cadence. His name was Caden Smith. You know what I mean? He got drafted by the Niners, then we cut him. And then he was with the Giants and he was flashing whenever Evan Ingram was hurt.
Yep.
And it was like, I didn't know shit about him, but I knew he came from Stanford. And people always just go gaga over tight ends from Stanford.
Yep. I'll never get it. And Ron said you can only tag a player twice, right? And then they can walk, but the team has the option to price match. Yeah, so this is the last time that they can franchise tag him, and he's going to get a crazy bag because what is it? You get paid like the top 3, the average of the top 3 wide receivers?
The average of the top 3 at the position. So you take Kittle, Mark Andrews, and
no. Well, I was talking about Chris Godwin.
Oh, yeah, Chris Godwin, yeah. And I think the second one is the average and a half. Am I right? Am I saying this correctly? Because I remember, no. It's like the average and a quarter. Because I remember Kirk Cousins, when he got franchise tag, at the time, the average was $24 million. The next year, they hit him with the double franchise tag, and he was getting 28. So he got like
120%, so an extra 20%.
Okay, so it's 20%, not a quarter. Okay.
Right.
Close.
Fifth. We're already talking about a fifth, and now we got another fifth.
Yeah, so 19, what's that? The average right now is 18 or 19 million for the highest paid, when you average out the highest paid. And what's crazy is because DeAndre Hopkins stands alone at getting 27 million a year, right? But people don't know that was part of an extension. He had an existing contract. They hit him with an extension, and that's the deal he worked at. He was going to be front loaded for the first couple years on the extension. And that's what fucked up Devontae Adams from getting a big bag last year because he wanted to be the highest paid. They're like, we can't do that. It's 20. You would have to get 27.5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hell yeah. And Life and Sports Talk with Jake said, could Baker be next on the move next year? You think Hustler?
Yeah.
I think that he does not like the way the shit's going in Cleveland.
And I think he balls this year.
We got it. I mean, I hate to keep riding on that Baker train, so I don't want to say balls.
Okay, you know what balling? You want to know what balling in that system is?
Dude, the guy's had so many chances. He hasn't balled. Fucking give up. Move on. He does great commercials. I love him in commercials. Keep doing the commercials. Quit playing fucking quarterback or back up somewhere. He's terrible.
Hold on, man. I gotta defend my man Baker right one time.
I'll let you.
Hold on. My man, I call him the rooster, man, because he kind of got like that chest like this. You know what I'm saying? And he's big cocky, bro. This cocky motherfucker, he came in and matched the rookie record when he was a rookie. Peyton Manning and Russell Wilson and I forget who else shared the record with him, but he came in and matched it. And like he dealt with shitty coordinators in the first 2 years. Then he gets with Stefanski, a run-first team. Then this year, with the second year with Stefanski, he gets hurt. You know what I mean? I think the jury's still out on him because like, when you can't put numbers up, you can't put gaudy numbers up in the passing game when you're in that type of system.
I'll give you this: the Browns system and their front office and just the way they run that team overall, being the catalyst for these otherwise good players looking like trash. I can give you credit for that.
Browns
might be right. You might be right on that one.
Browns can take credit for that because they're doing everything wrong over there. They really are. And I mean, I know they're trying to be the run first, pound the rock. Well, you spent your number one pick on the first QB that you've had in like 30 years. That's actually like,
living up to the draft capital. But here's the thing, philosophically, it's a universal thought that you need the quarterback. So the Browns are always on a mission to get that quarterback. How many first round draft picks have we seen the Browns spend on QBs in the past 20 years? Hella, right? So now with that said, and the old regime got Baker. This is finally the new regime that's in place is the regime that got him into the playoffs, broke the losing ways. That's Stefanski and them. And the way they did it was running the ball. And this system is a product of Gary Kubiak, which is a product of Mike Shanahan. And when you're in these systems, it's quarterback friendly, so friendly that you could plug in any quarterback. Now you look at on the upscale of it, when you have that same system with an Aaron Rodgers in it, you get MVP caliber shit. You know what I mean? When you see that system with Matt Ryan in Atlanta, 2 years in it, he's an MVP. You know what I'm saying? Baker, they're not going to allow him to get in the shootouts. They want to run the ball.
But that's what I'm saying. Look at those other quarterbacks in that kind of system, and they're doing what they do.
But how do you
the
get
Browns
paid,
could be to blame for a little bit of that, but I just don't think Baker's quite all that.
Okay, now let's say this. Why were people showing interest in someone like Jimmy G then? When like I would rather have in a vacuum, I would rather have someone like Baker Mayfield than Jimmy G. But why?
But Jimmy G showed that even in the system that was utilizing
that same
he could still get it done.
Same type of system. That's what I'm saying I'm trying to make my point here. That's why I went with the Jimmy. This system, don't matter.
He's been around though. Like that's the difference between a guy like Jimmy and a guy like Baker. And you're coming from a Belichick. You learned under Tom Brady, like all that. Like Baker doesn't have any of that.
But here's would you say outside of all the backup QBs for Tom Brady, I want to say Jimmy's the most successful because just like all the coordinators that came from Belichick, and just like all the Brian Hoyers, the Matt Castles, the Hassel, whatever, whoever the quarterbacks, they were all shit when they went elsewhere. But they all got opportunities because they had the Tom Brady, Belichick residue on them. Only Jimmy actually had success, repeated success. But it's because of the system he was in, not because of him as a talent. And that same system is what wins in Cleveland. You could plug anyone in there that as long as you could drive that car and not wreck. And maybe that's why I say the jury's still out on Baker, because Baker could sling it. He's just in a system that's not going to highlight that.
But see, and here you go. Tino said it right here. Baker had a team built around him. He had a team built around him like no other. It didn't work. It's time for the Browns to move on.
Agreed.
And I think it's really in Baker's best interest to leave. I'm not saying he's trash and no one's going to pick him up. I think that it's the Browns that are trash, and he should be trying to get the fuck out of town because look at the team that they had. We thought that they were damn near Super Bowl contenders with all the moves that they made. And yeah, they made it to the playoffs, but that was still falling short from the expectations we all had for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's trash, but yeah, I mean, you know, he could go somewhere else and do something, but I don't think he's a superstar. And and on the other side of the coin, yeah, I don't think no matter who the Browns get to put in there, it's all run first. You're absolutely right. A quarterback's not going to make the difference. You got to have somebody who well, they can make a difference by being a leader, but they're not going to make the difference with their arm quite as much. I don't know. I just don't see it with Baker.
Baker's going to have a home. See, when you look at the NFC South, that's 4 teams that are going to have, they're going to be the retread spots for all the quarterback carousels in the next couple years. Because Carolina, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, and goddamn Atlanta. Like, Atlanta's the only one that knows who their QB is this year, for real. You know what I mean?
That's just because they're locked into his contract. I bet
exactly.
they could have a new
and like, so I'm saying, we're going to see a lot of these guys, like Baker could be and wind up in the NFC South next year. You know what I mean?
It could happen.
Why don't you tell us a team that he's going to play for in the NFC South and then clip this and then save it for later?
Right.
I mean, I'd say it would be Carolina because Carolina's been the one year in and year out, they're shuffling whoever the fuck their quarterback is. You know what? Let's try this guy this time. You know what I mean? So that fits their MO. They're gonna make a hard push for like a Baker. And what we're gonna see more often is these quarterbacks take these 4-year deals that are the first 2 years front loaded and the last 2 will be voidable. So that's what we're gonna see. So these guys can, you know, because it's the not for long league more than ever, bro. Before we used to never see quarterbacks play in too many different spots. And when they did play in several spots, you know what they were? They were Ryan Fitzpatrick's. They were fucking Josh McCown's. They were career journeyman backups. You know,
you got to be smart motherfuckers who can pick up on an offense just like that. But now you have so many similar offenses because of all these coaching trees, you know, that are out there. It's a little bit easier, I think, to plug a guy into a system than maybe it was 20 years ago.
Yeah. Like, you know what we're going to see with one of these, like, okay, Sean McVay, he took that Shanahan scheme and reinvented it like four or 5 times over, right? And then you match that with a crazy ass defense. They're a Super Bowl winning team, right? We're going to see one of these zone run scheme teams that just has a solid ass defense, and they're going to win old school, bro. Running the ball, low scoring games, just playing defense, bro. Like there's going to be a team. Motherfucking the Broncos might be that team. So you got a quarterback. You're going to have long, lengthy, extended drives because you have a smart quarterback now. Then you have a defense that's going to play everything short. And for what it's worth, you have Brandon McManus, who has one of the biggest boots in the game, and you can play these lower scoring field goal games. You know what I mean?
Well, we've seen how well Russell Wilson can lead a team when he's got good running back supporting him. So, yeah, I mean, he's got 2 of them. Well, possibly, you know, at least Java Williams right now and probably Mel Gordon too.
If their defense stays healthy the entire year, they're going to make a motherfucking Super Bowl run.
And I'll be right back.
It's going to make a deep playoff run at least.
At least. We've seen this kind of shit happen before now with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and Russell Wilson. He's been around. I mean, he's a 10-year vet, you know, at this point. Yeah, I can't wait to see what he does.
You know, I might think that the Broncos gave up a little bit too much, but hey, results can shut me up real quick.
Oh, yeah. And that's really what it comes down to. And the paying too much or not paying too much. We got to see what the Seahawks actually do with these picks. Do they turn it around and turn it into a Watson or something else? And then, you know, still have a couple picks, you know, on top to be able to do something. But if they miss on these draft picks and they don't trade them away or anything, they're going to look like fools.
Right. If the Cowboys hadn't picked up Emmitt Smith, then, you know, getting all those picks for Herschel Walker wouldn't have meant shit. So, yeah, you're right. Exactly. It's all about who you get.
Yep. I mean, they got the 9th pick, you know, as of now. So, I mean, they're going to have their their pick of. They're probably going to go defense if they pick that. I know there's a lot of people speculating Malik Willis, at 9. I just don't see it. They wouldn't really have to jump up that high to get him, I don't think.
Yeah, well, and then one of the things, actually, a buddy of mine who's a Seahawks fan and a Ducks fan, and he's hoping that all this news about Thibodeau and not being a 100% all the time player and leaving early at the combine is going to help him slip down to where the Seahawks could take him. I'm like, I don't know if he's going to slip that far, dude, but who knows? They could trade up a little bit to get him, but dude, if they could get Thibodeau in there, holy shit. That's a good start to getting that defense bolstered up, and they're going to need it against these, the rest of the NFC West.
Oh yeah, you got to have to make a playoff run, you just have to have pass rush. That's what's crazy. Like this past year, the Chiefs were really like the only team like without a pass rush, like in the playoffs. And they had a little bit of a pass rush, but not compared to like to Hubbard and Hendrickson and Donald, and like all these other, the Titans pass rush, like all that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's see. Let's rapid fire some of this stuff. So Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, he's going to be testing free agency. And apparently there's a handful of teams that are interested, but the Saints seem like they're really, really interested in his services. He'd be an amazing fit there. That's Absolutely. For sure. I'm curious to see if they make a real push at him, especially with their lack of cap space.
Yeah, they could do it. I don't think they'd have to give up too much to do it. And you're right. He would be a good fit there. The Saints are a team that I'm not saying that they're in a full rebuild, but they definitely have a lot to make up for to start bolstering and building up ever since Drew Brees left. And it's not just on the offense, but on the defense as well. And I think that Mathieu could definitely be someone that they could utilize, and they have some links there. I like it. I think you're right about that. He's only 29 years old. He played at LSU. It's homecoming for the guy. I think it's perfect fit.
Yep. And sticking with the defense, we got J.C. Jackson. The Patriots are letting him test free agency. He wants to break the bank and reset the market for the cornerbacks. And he's someone who deserves it. Like, that's for sure. Like, you talk about the Patriots defense last year. He was one of the key components to that. They always have a top cornerback who is. So I'm curious to see where he goes. But I hear one of the teams that's really, really interested in him is the 49ers.
I would love it, man. I would love, as a Niners fan, I would love to see J.C. Jackson come after what he did last season with, when Stephon Gilmore left and he was still in J.C. Jackson's ear. He kind of like, that was the kid that he took under his wing, and J.C. Jackson following in those footsteps. Man, I would love him on the Niners.
That'd be freaking crazy for the Niners defense that really needs a star cornerback. Really needs
that's the one thing the Niners defense is lacking, is someone there, in the corner to shut down some of those wide receivers that are giving us headaches otherwise.
And the last piece of defense that I got is Arizona released Jordan Hicks. So they're saving $6.5 million in cap space, and they got $3 million in dead money. So Arizona, their defense is going to be changing a little bit with some of these guys, and
we got what they're doing
do with Kyler.
They're trying to scrape it all up so they can pay Kyler, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're like, you gotta go. How old are you, Jordan Hicks? 20 what? 20, 20 cut.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
They're like, they're just, you know what I mean? And you know what? This is where it fucks up the game to me. Is this agent Eric fucking Brockwood or whatever the fuck his name is?
Is that Kyler Murray's agent?
Yeah, but he's also Cliff Kingsbury's agent. And he's just trying to make sure he get a bag. How does he get a bag? He makes sure they get a bag. You know what I mean? He kind of pinned them against each other. For all we know, they're hella cool. He's like, on this side, they're talking about Kyler Murray, this and that. And then boom,
I can see that.
On this side, he's like, then they pay the coach. And now and before they paid the coach, this agent came out with a goddamn statement. And it was funny because he had like words all misspelled in the statement. I didn't read that shit. It was hella long, but other people pointed out. on the social medias. You know what I mean? And it's just like, this guy's just like, y'all need to pay Kyler now, and whoop, whoop, whoop. Then 2 days later, the motherfucking coach gets paid. You know what I mean?
And I thought it was real funny how after he gets paid, he goes on McAfee and starts talking about how much of a dumbass he is. Doesn't even change his play calling scheme after Nuke goes down, you dumbass.
I was cooking breakfast and just listening to it live. And then like I go, it's just on in the background. And I'm like, oh, I rewinded it, screen recorded. I'm sending it to us.
What a dumbass.
We've been saying that shit for years. Like, this guy, he probably could be one of the more creative offensive minds in the game. But like, it's like, he's so unproven. And then if you ask me what they put on film, it's fucking head scratching. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's like the play calling is stupid as fuck. He might have some good plays here and there, but like, he's calling them at the wrong ass times. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it was ugly. I've been at least talking about this since 2020.
How about
play
this?
Calling just looks god awful.
Kyler Murray, he got them to the playoffs. What? He gets them into the playoffs. What? Man, he goddamn takes them to the playoffs and throws the fastest pick six ever. The shortest, I mean. Who called that play? It was Cliff Kingsbury. It wasn't no mountain. It was a cliff. It wasn't a cherry. It was a berry. It wasn't a banana.
What?
But you think he went bananas. But you see his play calling. Maybe he's coconuts. Maybe he's just nuts. Maybe he has no testicles. Maybe he has no balls.
Maybe he's these nuts.
You guys better get ready, because I don't know if you know what next Wednesday is. Do you know what next Wednesday is? It is March 16th.
You know what?
316.
You know what?
And he's coming back. He's coming back. We're WrestleMania versus Kevin Owens. It's happening. It's going down.
We're a week away from Austin 316 Day. Swig a beer. Hey, you ever used to listen to his podcast when he was a drinker?
Oh, yeah.
Because apparently I think he stopped. And I think he's like on a CBD hype now.
Yeah.
You know what he always asks wrestlers when they come on his podcast? Kevin Nash, man, you're looking good, you son of a bitch. How you been? How's the body? How's the body? He always asks them that. Steve, after 30 surgeries, like, motherfuckers are fucked up after wrestling. And he always asks them. I remember when he asked the Big Show. The Big Show was like, hey, he's like, damn, Steve. He's like, just walking around, man. He's like, and then they just laughed, whatever that meant. But it's like, because he's such a big son of a bitch, you know what I mean? And after a life of wrestling, just walking around, it hurts him, you know what I mean?
Uh-oh, Bogey. Tino's about to put you on blast. He said, bro, I'm clipping this and sending it to the homies of Bogue talking with 49ers suck. Because we had his comment of 49ers suck underneath you, talking for, I don't know.
Hey, listen, when the 49ers don't win the Super Bowl, and I'll tell you, yeah, they sucked. How about that? Every team sucked if you don't win. Give me money. Where's a ding? Give me a ding. Clip that shit and send it to the homies. Listen, I've been so elusive. I'm the only one.
Suck because they didn't win the Super Bowl. Right?
We've been doing the guy. Yeah, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, you touched on it. Tyrant did. Man, I'm so excited to see. It was Taco who put it in our little circle chat that we had. I didn't even know that Stone Cold was coming back, and man, Peacock trying to make me keep my subscription just so I could watch that shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hey, Peacock, give me money. I have Peacock because I am still a stupid son of a bitch that pays for cable. In the words of Stone Cold, you stupid son of a bitch. Yeah.
So now we got to stream WrestleMania so we can see the Stone Cold match, if nothing else, just for that. Because man, this is epic.
When I'm getting ready for that,
it's gonna be on there too.
Drinking 1 beer, 2 beers,
what?
3 beers,
what?
3 minus 2.
What?
That didn't make sense. That means I had 9 beers.
What?
Then I get to taking a piss, and at my age, it just comes dribbling out like a little kidney stone son bitch.
Antonio said, yeah, Kevin Owens called Austin out saying he's going to give him the stunner. And so Kevin Owens, it's pretty dope that, I mean, they were thinking about he's changing his finishing move, and he just thought about the Stone Cold Stunner, and he asked Austin if he could use it. And he's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, it's going to hurt you more.
Austin would
It's going to hurt
if other
me.
people try to use it, but that's only because he said they just got to ask me. And KO asked him. He's like, yeah. Well, there you go.
Said,
more relevant.
I mean, after years and years of delivering the stunner, right? He said he had like, goddamn vertebrae compression.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of that had to do with Owen Hart putting him on his noggin.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what started it all. But yeah, when your move is literally just like jumping on your ass, like that's really what it is. And like, just imagine, remember some of those times when it was like the big invasion that was going on. And
you might get like 12 stunners in a row.
Yeah.
It was even more than that. Like it was
Stephanie's getting it too.
I want to go back to that just so we can all watch that and see how many stunners.
Hey, how come they never went back and Me Too Stone Cold, huh? He used to give stunners to all kind of women.
Gave China a stunner way back in the day.
Online.
Oh yeah.
I won't go there.
I think it was because he gave Donald Trump the stunner. Like
that's why I have a Peacock subscription, is to watch old wrestling shit. And I was just watching that shit where he's giving fucking China a stunner, and then like later he gives Stephanie McMahon a stunner. It's just fucking fun shit.
Oh yeah,
God damn it! Dude, when I was growing up, Stone Cold was a fucking man. I had the original Austin 316 shirt going around like, fuck yeah, I'm the shit, just like Stone Cold. Don't even fuck with me.
I had several generic versions from this. We had this mall out here called Easter, just like the hood mall. You know what I mean? And like they had the shirt tee place. You know what I mean? They got all the knockoff shit.
Steezy in the house. What up, bro?
What up, Steezy? Hey, everybody go check out my man Steezy A. Smith on YouTube, bro. You know what I'm saying? I finally got the chance to grace the live stream, and that shit was dummy lit, bro. I swear to God, the first thing my girl said, she goes, whose show were you doing? I was like, I was doing Steezy's show. And she goes, why didn't you wear a suit? And I was like, that's exactly what I thought. Like, I was just like, I don't want to go underdressed to Steezy's pod, but I
saw that shit, man. Steezy, that shit's legit. Went ahead and subscribed to you. Hey, hit me back, the Fantasy Tyrant. Check me out too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we gotta get. I told Steezy he's got an open invite whenever he gets off of work, to jump in on this show with us if he gets off of work early enough on a Wednesday.
Bring him as a guest in the circle sometime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On a side note too, when I told him about the circle, he was like, I'll get out. It's just it's a little bit of a time constraint, you know what I mean? Like, because we do that's the one thing with the shows. A lot of people have tried to get in. It's the time slot that we do it at. It's been like, you know what I mean, the deciding factor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's because we've with a lot of West Coast people, So
they're getting home at like 5 o'clock. It's already done. Yeah, I mean we do.
If my man Tina was out there. If Tina, if you still out there, go check out my man Steezy A. Smith's channel yesterday, and you'll see Bogey, right? Listen, I'm on a joint all Seahawks, right? It's all Seahawks. I'm Niner down, right? Hella Ninerisms. Hella, you know what I'm saying? Just coming out the pores. And then at one point, because I'm trying to be as cordial as possible, because I just kind of like talking to people. I'm that guy, right? And like I'm just kind of sitting down, waiting. And then, like, I just decided to go, see. And then the first time they didn't get it, right? And they're like, I'm like, see. And then, like, Hawks, right? And then it's funny because they'll just be talking, I'm like, see. And I just stop when they're doing Hawks. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm like, don't catch a motherfucker when he's, like, helping you move, you know what I'm saying, in Seattle, you know what I mean? They just yell out see, and they'll yell out Hawk and drop that goddamn 70-inch, you know what I mean?
And Tino said, check your phone, Bogey. Oh yeah,
I have no idea where my phone is, dude.
Yeah, let's not distract them. And Tyrant, shout out your IG.
I want to stay on board,
Yeah, no, I don't actually have the Instagram yet. I've got YouTube the Fantasy Tyrant, YouTube the Fantasy Tyrant, Twitter Fantasy _Tyrant. I got to get on Instagram.
Tyrant? Hold on. On Instagram, I've been tagging the Fantasy Tyrant. That's not you.
No,
we've been doing hella work.
Oh man.
Nice.
Maybe it would have helped if I clicked on that joint one time. You know what I mean?
There's another fantasy tyrant. Damn it. I gotta take this fucker down.
Dion in the building. What up? He said, sorry I'm late. Had a Madden game to play. But what's up, Goats?
Hey,
what
man.
up, bro? Smoke it up.
Hey, listen, bro, you know, the Madden games is serious, bro. Like my homies that playing those season-long joints, that shit is real serious.
It sure is, man.
Oh, there's my phone.
I play Madden, and in fact, yeah, I'm trying to find other like analysts and people that play Madden so I can play them. You know, get some people watching us talk shit while we're playing Madden. It's something I'm trying to work on myself. I love it. Although I gotta admit, this the MUT, the Madden Ultimate Team, it's like more and more like the only way to do it is to just spend a shit ton of money. If you ain't spending a shit ton of money, you ain't gonna win. It's like, all right, fine.
Yeah, that's what sucks. I mean, NBA 2K, you know, same way with that shit. You really you got to beef up your guys to compete, or you're just gonna get your ass whooped, or spend a shitload of time building up a character, you know, or your team or whatever. But yeah, that shit sucks.
But even if you spend all that time building up the team, you still go against someone who's got nothing but 99s off his team because he spent like $20,000 on his fucking team. Like, Jesus Christ. And they seriously up the price on that shit. Like, you know, you can get like 4 or 5 95+ guys if you spend $100. Like, really? That's fucked up. That's way too expensive for like someone that, you know, you spend 3 weeks working on the game, you can get that for free. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, but who has the time anymore? Like, shit,
Right.
everyone wants to play and kick ass right out of the gate, not get your ass kicked for 3 weeks. Yeah, and Steve,
you know what?
He said just tapped in on both on Twitter and YouTube. Nice to meet you, Tyrant.
Hey,
Hell yeah,
nice
we're
to
all
meet you as
connected.
well, man. We'll do some stuff together, I'm sure.
I'm wearing a suit next time.
Ha.
Fuck that shit.
If I come on, I'll get one of those like
wearing a
those
suit.
t-shirt tuxes, you know, real snazzy.
Yeah, I got
And Don said Seahawks now suck for real. Hell yeah.
Hey, hold on, bro.
We suck
I'm
again.
sorry, Don. Don's a Seahawks fan. I'm sorry, gal.
Hey, you know what's funny though is if you think about this though, like the Lions last year. First of all, the Lions always suck, but the Lions were some covering ass machines last year in the gambling world, right? The Seahawks, I bet you they some covering ass motherfuckers, bro. You know what I mean? Because the Niners were before they got good again. Like these teams I mean, yes, they're gonna have a shitty record, but it's not like they're just gonna be like a team that gives up 50 every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like real
The
shit.
defenses. It's the defenses that'll help you cover. That's really what it is. When you don't get blown out of games, it is going to be it's going to be easy to cover. And there we go. Ron said, Tyron, I'm currently adding you to the graphic, bro. Hell yeah.
Thank you, my man.
There we go. So am I going to be able to get that swapped out? Get that one swapped out
Nope.
for the replays. And shit. Yeah.
Get him in there as the Gandalf one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Gandalf's got to make an appearance again sometime. I'm sure he will. I'll hit him
The
up.
Halloween season is dope when he comes around though, because like we're gonna bring hella characters around again, man. We know a lot of people and we know celebrities.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
Bo
man.
Hogan, you know that he was a hit. Bo Hogan he was getting requests to be on the show for a week after.
I must have rocked that shit for like a week straight, man. Oh shit.
That's a dope ass character. That's why. And Steezy said, to be honest, I don't want us to get Watson anymore. Man, I want to hear a little bit more why. That's for sure.
You know what though? He's a realist though, bro. This is what I think. If they don't get Watson, that means they can really build the right way. Because what's 1 year bad? The next year, now you have another high pick, and then if you have got a lot of young pieces on defense like Snyder and them used to hit. Remember, they used to hit in those mid rounds.
Oh yeah, they were hitting like back to back to back on all those defensive.
Accumulate all these picks. You know what I'm saying? Then you have room to like really keep a Jamal Adams. You know what I'm saying? And bring in a couple other big name free agents, you know what I'm saying, on defense. And then, guys like, dare I say, a Kirk Cousins next year, because he'll be done with Minnesota. You know what I mean? And motherfucking, I mean, the list goes on, bro. The quarterback carousel is more real than ever these days because we're seeing a lot of these shorter term. Look, Kirk Cousins kind of set the trend. Right? He was like, I want 2 years fully guaranteed. Okay, make it 3. Okay, well, give me 3. 2 years in it, they extended it for 2 more. You know what I mean? We're probably going to see a lot of these type of deals, bro. You know what I mean?
Well, now, you know why people wanted the extra big bag and the extra long bag is because you could get killed on any play. But now all these rules protecting the quarterback, it's a little bit easier to bet on yourself when guys can't attack your knees and shit like that.
Hey, my man Quirky Kirk, though, he listen, as funny style as he is, he been betting on himself for a long ass time, bro. Because he's like, franchise tag? Yeah, give me that. Then he's like, oh, another franchise tag? Cool. And then he's basically played on 3 franchise tags in a row, if you think about just because based on guaranteed money that year, right? He's done that every year with Minnesota. He's just like, he's guaranteed Cousins, bro.
Yeah, he was until Rodgers, changed shit around.
I bet he married his cousin. He's probably weird like that.
He was about to be the 3rd highest paid QB in the NFL.
Kissing Cousins.
Oh man,
guaranteed cousins. Our kids are guaranteed cousins.
Oh.
Now we officially hit every dark corner you can imagine on this.
He's like Jonah Hill from Wolf of Wall Street, huh?
I said Gardner Minshew earlier. I said Gardner Minshew was conceived in the garden. All his siblings are named after garden tools. His sister's home.
The depravity of this episode.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Let's see. What else do we got? Okay.
News.
So I got 2 more pieces of news. One not too big, but shout out to the 420 crew and Josh Gordon getting re-signed by the Chiefs. He's going to be there again.
So and that matters, man.
Yeah, he's just having another wide receiver there. Maybe it's going to take him a year to get back a little bit into form.
Okay. I think him and Bryce Pringle are like not that far off in age. Why wouldn't you keep Josh fucking Gordon? You know what I mean? Even if he's just like a 3rd and long package guy, you know what I mean? Pause.
Yeah.
That sounded so wrong. You know what I mean? But like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's really how he was being utilized. Like, all right, we're gonna need this 3rd and long. We're gonna need somebody to take away.
You said long package.
So Josh Gordon's turning 31 this year, and Pringle's turning 29 this year.
Pringle's hella old.
I know it's crazy because we don't see him, that often. I mean, he comes up, big in the Super Bowl and shit, and I mean, had a big, kick return, here and there. But yeah, 29 years old. I would never have guessed that he was 29.
Right. Well, as far as Josh Gordon goes, re-signing him, it's not a bad idea, especially if they think they might actually do something with him. It's not that long ago, really, if you think about it, especially in terms of all the time he's had off, that he was a talented wide receiver, fucking killing it on the Browns. So, I mean, he has the talent.
Who are we talking about?
Utilize him.
Josh Gordon, about how he made those shitty Browns quarterbacks like relevant with highlights.
I know, but anyway, first of all, it was Shanahan. Right? It was Shanahan, and we've seen Shanahan. Like when I saw Shanahan go to Atlanta, I was like, oh, Julio Jones about to go crazy. Not that Julio Jones didn't already go crazy. It was just that we've seen Flash Gordon go crazy, where you have a guy that can go 1,400, 1,600 and lead the league that year. You know what I mean? And here's what I love about Josh Gordon those years. He was high as fuck in every one of those games. Right? Balling.
Yeah.
Led the league.
Hell yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Don't be surprised.
That was Kyle Shanahan.
His fantasy
was Trent Richardson
relevant next season.
Hold on. Who was throwing him the ball? Was that Whedon?
Yeah, I think it was Brandon Whedon.
Okay, because I remember Shanahan being there.
Yeah, those were ugly teams. Those were ugly.
That was 2013.
Was Whedon like 26 when they fucking drafted him or something like that?
He was like an 8-year senior. He got a PhD, a whole ass doctorate. And then he went to the league.
And Life in Sports Talk with Jake says, if you smoke like Josh Gordon, you barely get high. I'm sure I do smoke as much as Josh Gordon.
Well, it's a good thing he's got that doctorate.
Listen, man, when I get high as the Kurt.
Yeah, high as giraffe pussy, like that's for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like the opposite. I'm so high, I'm just laid up. High as a curve.
And Antonio says Whedon throwing the ball to a guy that's weeded.
It was fucking the universe, bro.
Hell yeah.
Don't. That's the universe if I've ever seen it. You know what I mean?
All right. So before all the news about the Colts and everything, some news that I heard from the Giants is that they are very, very interested in acquiring Mr. Mitchell Trubisky and having him compete with Daniel Jones and probably overtaking Daniel Jones.
It's low-hanging fruit here because Trubisky got to sit behind Josh Allen last year with Dable, and they're in those quarterback meetings together. Like, he's the guy that when Josh Allen comes off the field, you know what I'm saying, he asks Mitch, hey, what'd you see there? You know what I mean? He knows the system. That's why, and I was saying as soon as they hired Dable, I'm like, watch Trubisky go over there and take his job. And me and you had a good laugh about it because I think you said anybody would take his job. You know what I mean?
Because Daniel Jones Pesos is a bum. He is a bum.
Danny Dumbass.
Thanks.
That's Danny Dummy, bro. Like, he's so fast. His legs run right from underneath him.
Right.
Shit. Has said Saquon to Buffalo. So Trubisky's an unrestricted free agent. So that they wouldn't have to trade for him if that's what you meant. No. They're not trading for Saquon.
No.
Not even close.
I mean, you know what, bro? This is why are people taking pages out of the Rams playbook? Look what the Rams did. The Rams did it in every fashion of you can. When Cam Akers went down, you know what they did? They're like, let's go trade for Sony Michel because this is his fourth year, and then we can decide whether to pick up his fifth year or not. They're smart. Why wouldn't the Buffalo Bills do that with Saquon? You're only going to pay $7 million, and this is his fifth year. So maybe that's why. Maybe they don't want to pay $7 million. But I mean, that's why. And when is that?
Especially when start? Yeah, but running isn't that's not their thing. It's not their forte.
What sucks is he runs himself. He runs himself into the dirt. So, without trying, he could just go down. I mean, we haven't really seen him.
Come on, hold on. When Saquon got destroyed, it was by Chicago, and they crushed his ass and fucked his ACL and everything, structural damage, all that shit. Then it was a year. I like Saquon this year.
But you don't remember that? Hold on. You don't remember that, though? He got smashed, and then comes back,
Dalvin Cook.
Comes back into the game.
Yeah, you're talking about when his ankle was swole.
Yeah.
His ankle was swole. Yeah. Remember they showed that shit. Yeah. Still though, that's dumb coaching if you ask me. Why the fuck you let him back in the game, coach?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, how about this? If you look at why I think I would like this trade for fantasy purposes, even is because you have all these people to clear out the box. Diggs, Knox, Gabe Davis, the angel Gabriel of death, right? The motherfucking box will be 6 men in the box, man. And then you have Saquon. And now, if you have someone like Saquon, they don't really run. How did they finish with Singletary last year? They were running fucking crowd. I was so hot when I didn't get them in the 14th round, Huss?
Yeah.
When in the fucking startup dynasty draft ran. I was hot. I was letting Singletary fall because I think they will go more balanced. And Dable's gone. I think they're hiring from within. You know what I mean? But they're going to see some balance, and it works better. You have one of the more prolific passers in the game. You need a threat of the running back running, not just your quarterback. And they continue that into the playoffs against the Patriots.
So are they finally going to put their trust though into Singletary? You know, I've been hyping that guy.
He's like a 15 to 18 touch a game guy. You know what I mean? Because he'll get maybe 12 to 15 attempts on the ground and a few targets. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what we should expect. He's an RB2. We would hope. He's a low end RB2 with high low end RB2 aspirations.
See, there you go. Live at Sports Talk with Jake says just get a cheaper option. Penny.
Yeah.
See, Penny's the guy that will sign the contract and break his hand, signing it. You know what I mean? It's digital. True. It's even digital.
Dude's made of glass.
All you gotta do is just swipe your finger on the goddamn screen.
Actually, glass is too much for it. That's not brittle enough.
The glass, listen, maybe it's just an incredibly amount of string of bad luck. Like he goes to sign it and the fucking ink squirts out of the pen right in his eye. Oh, he falls, stabs his own eye with his other eye with the pen in his hand. Like crazy shit happens to Rashad Penny, bro. His life is Final Destination.
Or he's like some kind of weird like Truman Show thing somewhere. Like we're just gonna fuck with this guy every which way. Enjoy the show.
He ran. I remember. If Steezy's still out there, I remember he texted me one time. He goes, "Man, I saw you pick up and drop Rashad Penny like 8 times, bro." Because I just like throughout the course of the season, I just kept speculating, just holding on to him and I drop him. And I remember Pete Carroll, crazy old Pete, as I call him. He comes out, he's like, it's time for him to really step up and be the guy, right? And I'm like, okay, let me pick him up again for the 7th time. I'm gonna put him on my bench and we're gonna speculate. The first play of the game, he gets the ball, 39-yard fucking rips it off, 39 yards, straight into the blue tent. And I was like, God, then I cut him. I was like, hey, fuck that shit. What am I doing? He's going to curse my whole team. And the next week was the Houston game. And if then on, he was fucking balls. You know what I mean?
You would have won more championships if you would have kept him.
I would have won more championships. I had because I must have picked him up and dropped him in like several. Like, I got people that don't vouch for that because then when he was balling, I was mad and just pestering the person that had him. Man, fuck you. You lucky I dropped him 8 times.
All right.
I don't think on the magical ride, bro.
I don't think we're gonna beat that. I think it's time to get up out of here. We got the Circle tomorrow, 7:20 Eastern, 4:20 Pacific. But before we get to tomorrow, we got something going down tonight. Tell them about it, Bogard.
Yeah, man. We got the Playmakers tonight, live 6:30 p.m. West Coast time, 9:30 p.m. for all you East Coasters. Wu-Tang in the building. Hey, it's going down. Definitely going to eat some mushrooms because I'm already pre-gaming now. You see me? I'm already in the primer mode. You know what I mean? And yeah, we're celebrating life because life is worth living and love the life you're living. That's the message we're sending. I'm going to try to start Playmakers sending some type of messages, some mushroom epiphanies type shit. You know what I mean? Tap in. We're breaking down all this shit today that we just talked about, but for fantasy purposes. Why is it the shit that Wilson is here for, the Jared Judys and Cortland Suttons of the world and Albert O's and shit like that? And a spoiler alert, when we bring this up, I'm going to say Cortland Sutton's the one to have because Jerry Judy's going to get overdrafted and Cortland Sutton's going to play the X receiver role in that Nathaniel Hackett, Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan ripoff system. And Devontae Adams was that guy when he had Rodgers. And now he has Wilson. And I think Cortland Sutton's going to be like that mid-round guy, bro. He's going to be like that Mike Williams, bro. Before Mike Williams fell off mid-season, people was like, Mike Williams is the steal of the draft, bro. Him and Corduroy Patterson. You know what I mean? But then, I'm telling you, Cortland Sutton's going to be that guy. We're going to talk all kind of shit. Maybe we'll even talk some Curtis Samuel for all we fucking know. There's all kind of shit that happened today. It's going down 6:30 p.m. West Coast time. Tap in.
At Ronald said, Bogard, you got a whole show tonight. Pace yourself, bro.
Hold on, Ronald. See, I told you Ronald's going to be that guy that's going to be like, I'd be like, Ronald, we're getting high over here. I don't know what you're doing over there, right? But you know what you're doing over here? Killing my high, bruh.
I don't know what you've been watching, but Bogey don't need to pay shit.
Bruh, I need to go faster, bruh.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, Ronald, keep up, Ronald. Keep up, man. And phenomenal thumbnails, by the way.
I agree with Stu there. Jerry Judy to the moon.
Oh yeah. And Live in Sports Talk with Jake said, pacing ourselves. Ha ha. Yeah, there is no such thing.
And listen, all I see the Jerry Judy workshop is real quick.
No. We don't need to workshop it.
We're talking about round. Yeah, we're talking about this tonight. We're talking about tonight. I'm arguing tonight.
True. Stop getting him wound up. And Tyrant, we're going to start seeing you every week, like you said a little bit earlier. So we're going to be excited. We're only doing FNT on Wednesdays now, if you guys hadn't noticed. And but we're going to keep this rocking, and Tyrant's going to be here every week with us. But tell them everything else you got going on.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's kind of the off season, a little bit of a break, but I will be here every week for the news. I will be here every Thursday for the circle. And right now I'm working on my Fantasy 101, so that can get, ramping up come about May, late Mayish. I'll have that dropping for those of you who, even if you're not new to fantasy football, this is going to give you some of those tricks and tips that the real experts know that we use to win our championships. So keep your eye out for that as well. And before I go, I just want to do a quick impression here of Deshaun Watson in court coming up here. Any question he asks, sir, I've got a document for you.
Fifth.
All right. And that's weird. It's blue, but it comes up green screen. That's funny. There you go. That's all you need to say.
I don't give a fuck. Even
All
if you think I should, bitch.
And do me a favor, if you haven't already, go to fantasyfootballhustler.com. Go leave me a 5-star review on Apple. And I don't know if you noticed, but you can leave reviews on Spotify now. So go leave me a 5-star review on Spotify. Help me climb up the charts. I really appreciate it. And get ready, because I'm already in stone cold mode already. So we'll see you guys later.
Peace. The Fantasy Tyrant on YouTube. Check me out.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. Put your life together.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side.